Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Ishita, and I am here with Farsia. Welcome to everyone to the Wondrous World Experience. I will be hosting this conscious parenting series today with my co host Farsia. Hello, Dr. KP. Hello, Sound Maestro. I can see you all typing in the chat box, so keep doing that. Hey, Farsia.
Hello, Ishita Bhabi, and welcome to everybody here in our Conscious Parenting series. Very excited to be here. So let's get going. As you guys know, last month we had a very successful back to school special webinar based on releasing fear of COVID-19 and parenting with faith. And today we are going to open the floor to discuss the very current and very interesting phenomenon that is literally spreading like one of those viral YouTube videos. Basically what we're discussing today is social distancing, and looking at whether unconsciously we are going too far with it. So we would love to know what your take is on this, because we will definitely be exploring this area, and we are going to suggest energetic and practical ways in which we can actually enhance our soul and emotional connection during times of social distancing, especially focusing on social distancing that might be taking place whilst you are a parent. So how does that sound to you guys? While people are joining us, I can hear lots of ding, ding, ding sounds going on, which is great. We want lots of people to join us because the whole world is going through social distancing measures at the moment. So the more the merrier. And yeah, also let us know, who are you and what brings you here? Let us really get to know each other. Please type in the chat box and let us know if you are a parent, maybe you're an aspiring parent, or maybe you are an older sibling, an aunt like myself, maybe you're an uncle, like our lovely sound maestro, or maybe you're friends of other parents and children who could benefit from this. So whomever you are, it's perfect. And just let us know, what inspired you to join us? What is your intention for being here? And what do you want to feel when you leave this webinar? What kind of information do you want to leave with when you leave this webinar? It's very, very important to let us know what it is that you want to take from this webinar, especially since you gave up your Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon to join us. Do let us know. And please do type in the chat box. Over to you, Shita Bhabi. We'd love to know more.
Thank you, Farsia. So, hello everybody again. My name is Ishita Todi. I'm a parent to my 3 children, ages 19, 17, and 13. This is the primary parenting role I play. I have been practicing and teaching meditation for almost 15 years now. I live in Kolkata, in India, and I have been with the School of Awakening for the past 4 years. I think I know most of you here. I am an ABC practitioner and a facilitator and lead the Conscious Parenting series. I work at a clinic, and you can also find me on Flow. Dr. KP says she's a parent of an 8-year-old girl and a 12-year-old boy. Good to know. I would really encourage everyone to type in so we can get to know you better. Over to Farsia. Please tell us something about yourself, Farsia.
Thank you. So I'm trying not to repeat myself like a broken record, but yeah, my name on this platform is Farsia. Sidra named me that, so I love to be addressed by Farsia. I'm not a parent yet, but I do have some amazing connections with children in the schools that I work with, and also I have 2 very lovely nephews and lots of little cousins who are very, very younger than me. So I do sort of end up playing that motherly role with them. I have been working with the School of Awakening since 2016, but I've also been a very good student of the School of Awakening since 2012. I specialize in access body consciousness and sacred healing arts, and also create lots of courses for our school as well. And I would just like to add that working in London schools is very, very much different, I know, to other schools around the world, which I haven't had the pleasure to work in just yet. But just seeing what's happening in schools, especially during this time of social distancing, and how the children are coping, and they're doing amazingly well at the moment, and how the teachers are supporting them, I think today's topic is like a top-notch one for us to actually address, especially in our homes as well. So very excited to be here with you guys. And yeah, and I can see there's lots of different backgrounds, different people joining us today from all over the place. So yeah, keep on asking questions, keep on you know, sharing your opinions and your suggestions with us, okay? And also want to go through some basic tips on how you can actually really navigate through this webinar today and really get some maximum value out of it. So make sure you have your notebook and pen to take down all your important notes, because yes, Ishitababi's got some amazing content to share with you today, so you're definitely going to need a notepad. Make sure you have a glass of water to keep you refreshed and hydrated, because as always, we are going to be doing a transmission with you guys, so make sure you keep yourself hydrated. If you have headphones, plug them in now, so that it will help you stay focused on the webinar. And most important of all, you know, make sure you engage, participate, ask us lots of questions, especially Shita Babi here. She's got so much expertise in so many areas of psychology to children, to parenting, because she's a parent herself. So if you have any questions at all, you know, no question is too big or small. Just please ask your questions, and you know, really get value out of this today. And as always, the more you participate, the more value you will receive, and you know, your time spent here will be well worth it. So Shitabai, could you tell us a little bit more about our journey of CPS so far in School of Awakening?
Yes, Farsia, thank you. So our journey in CPS so far has been, we started with peekaboo patterns in Chennai. And soon we collaborated with Pioneer World School and Lead Academy, both which are in Hyderabad. The live events that we have had so far have been Presence and Patience, November, Conscious Conceptions, Raising Cosmic Stars, Parenting Your Parent, Parenting Your Own Inner Child. That was a very, very interesting session that Sidra had. And we celebrated International Children's Day again in Chennai at Peekaboo Patterns. In November 2019, with Leap Academy in Hyderabad, we began our online journey. Currently, these are the programs that we are running. On the third Sunday of every month, we have a complimentary webinar, just like the one we are having today, where we discuss relevant topics, Q&A. We create a space for like-minded people to come together. We also host webinars where we invite expert guest speakers. We have ABC training sessions specially suited for working with children and teens. And then we have our one-to-one consultation with team representatives to formulate a personal bespoke plan for those who are interested in taking the journey forward. Now, what is Conscious Parenting series all about? I want to begin by saying that whether we have children or not, we are still always parenting in some shape or form. The one thing which places this role apart from others is that we hold ourselves responsible for our ward, whoever or whatever they might be at any given point, round the clock. No matter what else we are doing, we don't stop parenting. We don't take a break from it. You know, even if we go away for a holiday, we are still thinking of our work, if that's what we are parenting, our project, if that's what we are parenting, of our children, if that's what we are parents do. So round the clock, 24/7, the parenting continues. Now, the word parenting denotes individual acts where we are nurturing, teaching, nourishing, supervising, caring, advising, guiding, and protecting, loving, tending, and nursing, and many, many more. For people like me who have more than one children, very often it's also playing the role of a referee. Anyway, and we do these acts not only towards our children, but also to our friends, to our employees, colleagues, neighbors, nieces and nephews, to our pets, and many, many more. it extends to our parents as well as we start getting older. We also do these little acts to physical spaces that we occupy, to our home, our office, our studio, wherever it is that we, spend a lot of time in. Very, very important, we could also be parenting our own inner child. In all these forms of parenting, the most important aspect is with what consciousness we are parenting. And this is what Conscious Parenting Series, or CPS as we call it, is all about. It is a platform where we recognize all these forms of parenting. We tackle our issues and problems head on with energetically charged tools and processes to awaken and enhance our consciousness so that we parent with awareness. So we are always aware of what is happening and why it could be happening. Now, what are the issues that we are dealing with since the emergence of COVID-19? Here are some of the uh, issues shared with us by our clients. And I would like you, our participants for this afternoon, to type in the chat box and let us know what issues have been bothering you. As you can see on the screen, what our clients have shared, there's increased anxiety, there's mistrust, guilt, shame, there's fear of the unknown, because of course everything is so uncertain. Inside the house, routines have gone haywire. So I'm looking at the chat box, waiting for you to share with us what issues you have been facing. And with that, over to Farzia.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to say, like, even these sort of, like, if you see in front of you, I've been in just our schools in the UK have opened in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and already, a lot of parents are expressing a lot of anxiety. Our admin office is bombarded with calls daily for little things, like just little things like children having to make sure they're bringing their water bottles in, and PE equipment, the physical education equipment, and their PE uniform, and all these little
Hmm.
things.
Yeah, because they've gotten out of practice. Yeah.
Yes, causing a lot of anxiety in parents, and obviously causing a lot of anxiety in children. So yeah, let's
Hmm.
definitely have a look at this again today. And the more you guys share in the chat box with us, the more we will know what you are guys being affected by. But obviously, one
Yeah.
of the
So
things that
I'm
yeah,
reading in the chat box,
mm,
Farsia.
yeah,
Someone says keeping the child engaged is a challenge. Yes, because nowhere to
mm,
go. And another person's sharing with us so much screen time.
mm,
Another person is sharing becoming very stubborn and dependent on the parent. Yes, because
wow,
there's no one else that there's access to. So there's over
yeah.
dependency, which can become quite claustrophobic for both.
Yeah, that's definitely something worth addressing today. And make sure you pick up those tools that we're going to share with you and use them for these particular intentions, because they would definitely help. So let's have a look at exactly what is this paradox with connecting while distancing, because it is a paradox. On one hand we're saying keep your distance, and on the other hand we're saying no, keep connected. So let's have a look at that. So our mind is constantly thinking of distancing, right? We are bombarded daily with social distancing protocols. Isolating is the only way to be safe. On the other hand, we find ourselves confined with our family, roommates, people we live with. So have a think about it. How have we been living all these years? Sharing accommodation with people we necessarily, don't do much. Don't do everything with, we don't do everything with everybody that we live with. We have been going out and working, hanging out, engaging in various other activities with different sets of people, and living with, other people. In effect, connecting with people on various levels, investing effort to make and keep those connections while taking for granted the connections we have with our co-dwellers as well. So it is a paradox. We are all at the moment really kind of like learning how to balance this paradox, and also looking at what is social distancing. So COVID-19 seems to infect only humans, and we have no choice but to take these drastic actions, because even now, you know, every day we are still hearing news of people being infected by COVID, and you know, in some countries, you know, the numbers of people that have been drastically affected by it, who may have even crossed over, has risen. So the solution has to be found in social distancing, where most of us had never heard this term 6 months ago. Today it really has become the norm. You know, it's almost like I don't know, it's almost like a fashion statement almost. So what is social distancing? And it can be experienced in many different ways. So we would love to know from you guys, how have you been experiencing social distancing? What are your experiences? Because I've had some crazy things happening on the bus, commuting, coming back, you know. So we would love to know from you guys. And let's really have a look at actually in different ways in which we are experiencing social distancing. And what we've done here is we have kind of dissected, you know, our behaviors and the things that we are meant to be doing or expected to be doing while social distancing. So first thing, isolating, you know, where we may have to isolate ourselves from any physical human contact, leave alone, you know, forget about touch, you know, we can't even be in the same room or space with another human at the same time. So traditionally, isolation has been associated with punishment, you know, be sitting in the corner, timeout, boycott, or solitary confinement, which is probably the most extreme version of isolation. Now, you know, in history of punishment and discipline, if you look, a lot of these sort of tactics are used, you know, in prisons and God knows what else. So it's really would be interesting to see how much of that energy has seeped into our consciousness just by simple isolation, you know, protocols that we've had to follow. The next one is wearing masks. Now, this is something that has become almost like the bane of my life. I don't know about you guys. I'd love to know from you guys. When I wear a mask, I feel so disorientated because not only it feels like I can't hear anything, it feels like I can't see anything. When even though the mask is only on my face, on my nose, it's really weird how it affects my judgment of distance, and I've been very clumsy. So let me know how you feel, you know, wearing masks, like masks. You know, often in School Awakening, we say, take off your mask, take off your mask. Here, we have to physically wear a mask. And yes, it has prevented us from engaging with others in a way that is familiar to us, you know. Smiles are not visible, voices are muffled, facial expressions are concealed. It's very disorientating, and yes, hearing is also very much impaired in my case. So would love to know from you guys, like, how are you, you know, finding it? And I just want to say something. I was hanging out with my cousin. We were just going to the supermarket, and obviously we were both wearing our mask, and she had a completely different take on it. She loved it. She was like, I'm so happy that I get to wear this because number one, she doesn't feel self-conscious about herself. She can talk to herself and laugh to herself and nobody would notice. She literally is, she just loves it, where I was like, no. I really don't love it. So I'd love to know from you guys, you know, what is your experience of wearing masks? And then moving on, you know, this one is probably the most difficult one at the moment. Measured distance from each other, you know, stay 2 meters away, stay 1 meter away, you know, stand on your spot, you know, stand and sit apart from other people in queues, tables, offices, on the road, in shops and other social gatherings. You know, there's usually a queue of people lining up outside banks. I don't know how it is with you guys. But casual conversations seem to have vanished. You know, offering and receiving a helping hand has disappeared. Even eye contact and silent acknowledgement has become rare. And yeah, reflexes are getting rewired in a very different way. And it can be a little bit, I don't know, I don't want to use the word scary, but I personally wouldn't want our reflexes to be rewired like this, where we are forgetting that human connection, you know, like we said, like eye contact, smiling at someone, you know, things like that. It's almost like we are all expected to live in a bubble, but then we are not actually consciously aware that we are creating a bubble around us that could easily just be there for a very long time if we're not careful. So that's something
Yeah,
definitely to think
Farsia, I
about.
remember,
Yeah.
the other day,
Mm,
hi, we were talking, you and I remember you
yeah.
mentioning that, as a reflex, you went to pick up something someone had dropped, and then you realized that
Yes,
you're probably not supposed to touch it, and then you started
absolutely.
apologizing. So exactly, like our very reflexes are getting rewired, and I'm not sure in the right way.
Absolutely, that's exactly it, and it's like even yesterday, was it yesterday? No. Yes, yesterday. No, not sorry guys. Let me just get my day right. It was Friday because I was in school and I was sitting with a child and I coughed. It was just a very innocent cough. And he was like, "Miss, you need to wash your hands before you stand next to me." And it really took me back because I thought to myself, "Whoa, like, it didn't even occur to me that I was gonna do that because it was a very innocent just a very innocent small tiny cough, but even that little child was like, "Miss, you need to go wash your
Yeah,
hands."
now that you mentioned it, there's a strange sense of policing that everyone's taken over themselves. Like, we
Yes.
go for walks, and earlier, like, people would be smiling at each other, or maybe waving, or maybe even not doing anything, but just being into themselves, listening to their music. And now, everyone's like checking that everyone else has got their mask on properly. If somebody takes it off, because like one of our participants has shared, here in Kolkata it's
Yeah,
extremely hot and humid, so
yeah,
it gets really uncomfortable wearing the mask, and someone just takes it off for a minute, and you have people looking at you like, oh my god, what are you doing? Or sometimes even people actually stop and correct you, say, hey,
really.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
gosh, I don't know. I mean, I haven't personally experienced it like that much here. But one thing I just want to share a really funny story with you, if you don't mind, Ishita Bhabi. But this is very embarrassing,
Please,
but I
please.
don't mind sharing it. So like I said, I'm not a huge fan of masks. So and I love my mascara. If anybody knows me, they know I love my mascara. So I walked out from the morning, put my makeup on, everything, and then I had no idea that the mask was so like you said, it was really hot, humid here in London in those days. And I as soon as I got to my workplace and I looked in the mirror, I took my mask off, and I swear to God, all my mascara was like leaking. I had no idea. It was all over under my eyes. And I thought to myself, wow, I spent a whole hour looking like this. But it just really made me feel like how much of even your facial aesthetics, it really does make you feel self-conscious. That mask, it's just the way. The reason I brought this up was because it's amazing how much you know we we um we sort of like rely on our facial expressions and the beauty of our face and things, that we think about all these things, and then something like a mask comes along and it kind of like messes up your face in such a way that you do feel subconscious. And now it's like, well, no more mascara until I get to work. But these little things do kind of affect you, because it affected me. I don't know, maybe I'm being too superficial, but
No,
these
definitely.
little
See, the
yeah.
little things are the big things, and we have
Yeah.
some really interesting comments here in the chat box. Someone saying there's a sense of untouchability creeping in.
Mm.
Someone is saying wearing mask for a long time is like breathing in CO2 and not oxygen. It's suffocating.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah. Okay,
Wow.
so the next one is measured
Mm.
distance. You want to go with that,
Yeah,
Farsia?
so that's what we were just saying about the measured distance, how we have to be very careful about, well, we are expected to be very careful about where we are standing, how far we are standing from each other. And also the next point that I want to bring up, because I don't know how it is in India and other countries at the moment, but here in London, here in UK, we've got another new rule that the government has said that apparently now there's only 6 people allowed to be gathering together or something like that. There's a lot of confusion around it. So I would
Mhm.
say, if you think about how the closing down of businesses, schools, social places, social gatherings, meeting up with people, places of worship that have been closed, like how has that impacted you guys? And would love to know, because most of these amazing businesses had just started as well, and that lots of those businesses have now closed down and moved online. So that affects a lot of, like, not only financial aspects of people's lives, but also people's purposes in lives have probably changed now. Their dreams, their goals. As you know, we've always said that your goal, your dreams, your project is also a very important aspect of parenting. So people's parenting styles, people's choices of parenting have had to change as well because of this. So it's really interesting to see how that
You
has
know,
affected you guys.
yeah, Farsia, you know what I was reflecting on this, like as places have closed down, everybody's routine has changed. And
Mm,
like we were saying that, the small things become the big things. So
yes.
many little things have just gone out of our day. And when you think about it, when we were going to work or going to school, there were these familiar faces that we saw. The doorman, or someone else going to the same school, or someone else going to work, someone taking a ride on the same bus or the train, some
Yeah.
doorman, so all these faces were not necessarily important people in our lives, but they just
Mm,
gave us a sense of belonging, a
mm,
sense of familiarity, and
absolutely.
it was a part of our
Absolutely.
everyday routine, and that's just gone away.
Wow. And also, I've noticed a lot of
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing this myself as well, but also people are now consciously asking each other, can I please sit here? May I please sit here next to you,
Yes.
And people are like, of course you can, of course you can. Or people are actually putting their bags
Yes.
next to their seats as a way of just saying, please don't sit here. No one's going to sit here next to me. So it's really, really, it's really
So,
interesting how everyone's
um,
dealing with it.
so here in Kolkata, I've seen it in a number of places, places like banks and hospitals and clinics where, typically there are rows of seats, and, these chairs can't be placed apart because they're part of one big seat, the
Hmm.
kind that we have at
Yes.
airports. So
Yeah.
what I've seen here is that people have taped every alternate seat. So there's a big
Wow.
red tape on, like a big cross, big red cross taped across every alternate seat, so people
Wow.
can't sit next to each other. And yeah, it just doesn't feel nice. I mean, something simple like, yeah, we get it that you want people to sit apart, but some people, like I took my daughter to the clinic the other day, and we live together, so of course we can sit next to each other.
Hmm.
We're eating together, we're together, but in the waiting area in the clinic we still couldn't sit next to each other, and it just felt
Oh.
weird. Yeah.
It is weird, and it's just so much inconsistency. That's no wonder why people are overwhelmed and confused. And just like what you're saying, there's a lot of hypocrisy in the way message is being delivered to us. And obviously, because we are trying, we want to be good citizens. We do care about each other, whether it seems like or not. But we do care about our neighbors. I truly believe that on a human level, we do care about our human, our fellow humans. And so we are all trying our best to not only look after ourselves, but we want everybody else to be, safe as well. So, but I think sometimes the way the way in which the message is conveyed to us through governments, through officials, it's almost like a Chinese whisper, and sometimes the message gets, mistranslated. It's just not carried out in the way it should have been. And I think that is also creating a lot of overwhelm and a lot of anxiety. And just on that point as well, I just want to mention something that, again, there's so much that happens when you're commuting. And I was on the bus, and one of the things that really made me feel a bit really, I wasn't cross, but I was just like, this is so annoying, is basically the driver was saying to everybody that you have to occupy, again, this is hypocrisy again, but he was saying that you can't stand, every single person has to be seated. And the message was that you have to you make use of all the seats. Now there was this one lady who had to get off onto the next stop, so she was like, well, I'm not going to go all the way to the top of the bus just to come back down again, because I'm getting off on the next stop. But because she was standing, he wouldn't move the bus. So she was like, well, this is ridiculous, because if I'm sitting down next to somebody, I'm sitting next to them. What difference does it make whether I'm standing next to them or sitting next to them? It's just, so before you even got to your destination, before you even got to work, you're already anxious, you're already in that angry angry mood. So it's really weird how people are coming into their new spaces as well when they leave the house. So
Yeah.
um
So
yeah.
I think what we really need to find is like one of our participants has written in the chat box, we need
Mm,
to be in a state of acceptance because there's so much change all around us, and we
mm,
need to find the balance between our paradox, connecting and distancing. And yes, social distancing is needed and it has saved many lives for sure. But how far are we taking the social distancing? How far is too far? Or how far is just far enough? You know, we don't know. Everybody's just trying to apply their own sense of logic and they're getting emotional about it, and everyone's just doing their own thing. So how will we even know that we have taken it so far? And what do you think about it? So now, yeah, so now let's talk about the different ways in which we can connect. We've been talking about the different ways in which we've been distancing. And now let's talk about ways to connect. So whether it's a family or whether it's some others that you're sharing your living space with, how are we communicating with each other? What is the quality of this communication? Now we're getting deeper into the topic. So I request everyone to take up your notes, to take up your pens and get ready to write down. What I have done is prepared a series of questions and I just want you to write down those questions. You don't have to answer them. You can sit down later, maybe next week, maybe tomorrow, maybe tonight, whenever you're in the mood for it, and write down the answers. And the answers are for you. I don't want to, you don't have to give your answers to me. The answers are just for you. The purpose of these questions is for you to begin questioning yourself, and the process of questioning yourself will bring about an awareness of the level of communication that you are in. Okay, so is everyone ready? Please type a yes, yes in the chat box so I can start sharing all the questions that I've prepared. Beautiful. All the yes, yeses are coming in. Right. So the first one, are you connecting on a physical level? So is there touch inside your household? Touch meaning hugs, kisses, of course, but even pats, back rubs, hair ruffles. Are you eating your meals together? Are you engaging in activities together? Like, I don't know, playing games, watching movies or shows, or, you know, like doing crosswords together. Maybe even cooking together or cleaning together. Or is everyone just keeping to themselves? Is everyone just fending for themselves? Is one person cooking and are the other people just eating and not eating together? What's going on? The next one, are you connecting on an emotional level? How will you find out? So do you express your emotions and talk about things that are affecting you? Or are you only talking about to-dos? This has to be done, this has got done, this needs to be done ASAP. Are you sharing stories? They might be personal stories, or they might be non-personal stories. You know, something happened to someone else, but it's a story. Are you sharing stories? Very, very important. Are you listening to each other? Are you feeling care and concern for each other? How will you know? Even if you're staying in different rooms, because you know everybody's working or studying online, so everybody's in their own room. Do you find yourself going and checking in on each other? Maybe you don't even say anything. Someone just opens the door, makes eye contact, and goes out. Checking in. Are you checking into each other? Are you aware of the tone of voice that is being used in your house? Are you aware that people are using a different tone of voice when they're talking to each other and when they're talking to people online, on the phone? Which tone do you prefer? Are you aware of the choice of words being used? Then we come to the next category of questions, which is, are you connecting on a mental level? How do we find that out? So, is there debate in your house? Debate, not about, I want this, where did you take my thing? I did not take it, not that kind of debate. We're talking about debates on ideas, theories, philosophies. Are you debating about world issues? You know, when you watch the news, are you in agreement? Or do you have conflicting ideas? And in what manner are you able to express your conflicting ideas? Are you communicating through technology? You're living inside the same house, you see each other every day, and yet do you find yourselves messaging each other about, you know, chores or tasks that need to be done or have been done, or setting reminders to each other? Are you reminding each other through your laptops or phones, or are you being verbal about it? Are you sharing your calendars, your Google Calendar or whatever other calendar, versus taking out the time to talk about what time do you have to do this and I have to do this at this time? You know, that kind of stuff. Now, if there are more than two people in the house, there are different equations at play simultaneously. Are you aware that everybody is observing what energy is present between each pair of people? Say there are 3 or 4 of you in the house, but whatever is happening between each pair is affecting everybody else. For example, the parents are in conflict about something, or they're completely disconnected to each other, but both of them are very loving towards the child or children. It still affects the children. I'll give you another example. Say the mother and the child are in a conflict, and the father is not in conflict with either of them. But the very fact that the mother and the child are in conflict somewhere affects the energy or the equation between the husband and wife and between the father and the child. Now, if there are more than 2 generations inside the house, the situation and the dynamics get even more complex and delicate. Are you aware that your child is getting affected by the relationship between you and your parents or your in-laws? So there's one thing that we need to understand here, which is that there is actually very little, almost nothing that we can do to influence what our children are learning and processing. If we are exposing them to a certain environment, then they will pick up whatever is relevant to them. And this is decided by their own individual soul journey. You know, as souls, whatever lessons they have chosen to learn, whatever challenges they have chosen to face, depending on that, each one will pick up something from the same situation. So if you have 2 children and they're both exposed to the same circumstances, they both will still pick up different lessons or different experiences and carry different memories from the same experience. So as parents, there's very little that we can do to determine what they're going to pick up from something. So if we are aware that a certain environment is not healthy, the only thing we can really do is change the environment. Are people in agreement so far? Did I just give you a lot to think about?
I was going to say, people. I know I'm in thinking mode myself at the moment. I'm hoping lots of people are writing down
Yeah,
lots of insights right now because it's going to really help.
yeah. So Fawzia, do you want to talk about people who are living by themselves? We've just said so
Absolutely.
much about, multiple people living in this house. And, now how about we look at people who are living by themselves?
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you know someone who is living alone, maybe you can definitely write down some notes here and see how maybe you can support them even if you are living, away from them. So let's have a look at people who live alone. So while there is a minimal external stimulus, you are still living with your own thoughts, with your own feelings, memories, and imaginations. You are never really actually alone. Now, this can get really intense as there is no distraction and there is no checkpoint to stop you from getting too far or any line. So you can really actually ask yourself these questions that which will really help you, or somebody else can really help somebody else really, improve their situation, especially if they're living alone. So have a think about this. If you are living alone, how are you spending your time? Or how are they spending their time? List down the activities and analyze them. How are those activities benefiting you? How much value are you getting out of the activities? What is the purpose behind those activities? It could just be that maybe you're just having fun, it's self-love, anything like that. Just write down what it is. What is it about that activity? Why did you choose that activity? The second one is, how much time are you spending on self-care? Cleaning, cooking, exercising, dressing up and sleeping, all those things actually do come into the concept of self-care, self-love. Even sleeping, some people feel guilty that they sleep too much, or they chill out too much. Maybe that's what's needed right now. So have a think about that. And how much time are you spending on self-development? Are you reading anything different? Are you watching something different online? you know Maybe you're watching more documentaries, more informative shows on Netflix, as opposed to reruns of whatever you like watching. Are you learning something new? Are you inspired to take on a new skill? Are you journaling? What are you doing to improve yourself as a person? Because remember, this journey is all about evolving, growing, whether you like it or not. So why not willingly do it? Why not consciously grow through this time of social distancing? And how much time are you spending on connecting with people? And what is the quality of this? Are you talking to people on the phone, or are you doing video calls? How are you connecting actively? What is the quality of this communication? Is it work only, or is it personal? Because this will give you an understanding of what kind of relationships you have with people, what kind of people you have in your life. If it's just work related, are you a workaholic? What about your personal life? Are you choosing to ignore your personal life? Whatever it is, just make a note of that, become conscious of that. And then fifth one is, are you spending time on social media and watching news? Or are you just connecting passively? Are you just browsing? Are you just flicking through the Facebook feed just robotically? Or are you actually picking up information and learning from it? Are you doing something about it? And think about all these things. What kind of effect does this have on your psyche, on your mind? How do you feel when you are flooded with all this outside information? Because as I mentioned before, personally, it really overwhelms me, because there's a lot of hypocrisy, there's a lot of contradiction in how the information is shared, and there's a lot of confusion, and that really does take a toll on your day-to-day simple tasks, because you're not sure where you are, you're not sure where you stand. So have a think about that. And I'd love to go on to the next slide and actually really think about this particular principle. Awareness is the key. this is one of the reasons why we have bombarded you with so many, thought-provoking questions, to really bring awareness into how we as individuals are moving through these times, because it really is about just us as one person. Yes, we are a group of people living together, and yes, we are in unity and things like that, but at the same time, we are this one person, and this one person is creating this reality around us, right? So what is our awareness around it all? And this beautiful principle, as you know, was taught to us by our lovely Sidra Jaffrey. And one of the key things that she was, highlighting throughout was awareness is the key. So start thinking about that. And also work on you. Another very, very important aspect, especially at this time, is working on ourselves, not just on our physical health, but our emotional, mental, spiritual health. It's really, really important to work on ourselves before we expect things to change in front of us in our relationships, and even our relationship with COVID-19. What's our relationship with COVID-19? Whatever that is, work on you. And something that First Lady just mentioned, like she mentioned before, was being in acceptance. Maybe it is being acceptance of this COVID-19 in our life right now. Maybe that will shift it. So just start thinking about these things. And also one thing that Shita Bhabi, I really love to know from our lovely audience here is there anybody here who has actually experienced COVID-19, maybe in their own body, or maybe they know somebody who has? I've been very, mashallah, very fortunate, and I thank God that I have not experienced COVID-19 myself, and I don't know anybody in our family, our close family. Thank God nobody has experienced COVID-19, and so I can't really say from experience, but if you have, please do share with us, and just know that we are here for you, and we will do whatever we can to help you and support you through this time.
Yes,
Definitely don't.
Farsia, it's
Yeah,
really God's grace that you
yeah,
haven't even come across anybody firsthand who has experienced this
yeah.
virus. And yes, I have. I did get
Mm,
COVID. I went through it, recovered, and there's a lot of stigma about it. And
mm,
again, there are all kinds of people in the world. So there are some people who really reached out, wanted to help in every possible way. And then again, there were some people who just wanted to like even when I went to get my
mm,
testing done, there
mm.
was a buzz that oh, she stepped out of the house, but I needed to get a
Wow.
testing done. So that kind of stuff, yeah. Yeah. And it the, till I didn't get it, I used to it was just mental. The understanding was only mental. Now that I've got
Mm,
it, the
mm,
understanding is experiential. So
mm,
before I got it, there's a whole school of thought which says that yeah, it's just another virus.
mm.
But believe you me, it's not just another virus. And I know that while I'm saying that, there are so many people who test positive and who are asymptomatic. So
Right.
for them, their experience is, yeah, okay, I got it. And then I just had to stay by myself and nothing happened. At the same time, people are losing their lives. Some people are getting critical, recovering. For me, I didn't get critical with God's grace, but it was nothing like a normal viral. It was quite bad. It pulled me down. It took me 2 months to get back on my, to
Wow.
get back to pre-COVID energy levels. So again, the range is so wide, and you never know what you are going to land up with. So
Yes.
I think what really helped me was talking about it.
Mm,
And I would feel very happy with if anybody wanted to talk to me about it, if they have if they have doubts or fears about it, if they've had it and they just want to share. I'm here. You know where to find me. So yeah,
definitely.
thank you,
And
Ambreen, for your
yes.
confidence.
And Ishita Babi, I would love to know from you, obviously, because you've experienced it firsthand. Is how did that change? Did that change anything in you drastically? Any habit that you gave up, or did you pick up something new from that experience that you changed in your life because of
I
that?
think I definitely it was a time of reflection.
Mm,
It was really like, because like I said, I'm a mother to three children and it's a very busy household. So for
mm,
3 weeks almost to just be by myself, it was
mm,
this huge pocket of time where I could just think.
mm.
And yes, it did help me reprioritize my priorities. And yeah, I think I came out wanting to prioritize myself, because I think
Right.
we're talking about parenting here. uh,
Mm,
as parents, and let me remind everyone, not just parents to children but parents to anything, anyone, you know because we become so absorbed with whatever we are parenting, we tend to slip ourselves in priority, because our mind is constantly occupied with that person or that thing that we are caring about, and we forget to do things for ourselves because we take ourselves for granted. So for me, it was a time of reflection, a time to remind myself, you know what, I come first.
wow.
Yeah.
Hear that, guys? We've definitely come first. Work on you. Work on you guys.
Yeah.
Seriously, it will just have a huge impact on the rest of the planet as well. So could you tell us a little bit more
Okay.
about the solutions to this now, Kushida? Because I know you're a very solution-based woman, as I would like to say. So we'd love
Yes.
to know from you, how can we
Yes.
shift our focus?
Yeah, so we've just been talking about the problems, and it's very important to talk about our problems, because if we don't talk about our problems, we won't know where to begin. And now it's time to talk about solutions. So when I started thinking about it, when I started thinking about the webinar today, it struck me that for the longest time, we have been taught at school, man is a social animal. And then in COVID, we're always saying is social distancing, social distancing. Our very survival today has become dependent on how effectively we can practice the social distancing. Perhaps the coinage and understanding of this term social distancing has been a mistake. What we actually need for our safety is just physical distancing. We just need to be physically apart from each other. We need to not touch. We need to be more hygienic every time we touch someone or something. But because we've been using this term social distancing, it's kind of got confused to include emotional and mental as well. So
Yeah,
like subconsciously, because we haven't been saying physical distancing, we've been saying social distancing. So subconsciously, we've just been distancing at every level, physical, emotional, mental. But that's been a mistake. We need to separate everything and remind ourselves, hey, I can be as emotionally and mentally connected as I was before, if not more. It's only the physical part that I need to practice distancing.
that's a very big point. I hope you guys understood that. Um, because I remember when Ishita Bhabhi first mentioned it to me, and it really took me a while to actually understand what she meant, but now I totally get it. So I hope you guys got that as well. There is a big difference between social distancing and actually physical distancing, which is what we need to focus on more, physical distance as opposed to
Yeah,
social.
so like
Mm,
for example, earlier when a bunch of friends met up, we didn't say things or think things. We just we had our physical reflexes to express things. So when a bunch of friends met up, we just hugged,
mm,
and that expressed affection, caring, concern. Like we were talking about wearing masks earlier. So when earlier we were sitting together, even if we weren't saying every thought that crossed our mind, our face would do the same for us. So
yes.
now, because we are physically not doing certain things. We have to use our mind consciously to do the communication at the emotional and the mental level, because it's no longer happening automatically, because we are not doing the physical things that we used to do. So we have to make some effort.
Yes, we do. I like the way
What
you said effort. It's so
effort?
true. You do. And sometimes you're not sure whether you want to go forward and shake hands. You want to shake hands because that's what you do, or you want to go forward and give a hug and a kiss or something. It's really weird. It's very strange.
Yeah. So I thought up some fun things, because when I was thinking of Sidra, and this is what she used to do, she used to play with
Yes.
words all the time. So I was like, all right, let's redefine things. Social distancing, SD, right? So how about we turn that into soul dialogue? Because if we are only doing physical distancing,
Love it.
so we
I
need
love
to
this
have
so much.
soul dialogue while we physically distance. And the other one
Oh,
I
it's so
came up with
funny.
is isolation. We keep saying isolation. So I was like, you know what? There's so many problems, and everybody's talking about isolation, isolation. So every time I hear isolation, in my head, I'm going to hear, I'm the solution. What did you hear just now? I said, I'm the solution. Did you hear isolation?
I love it. We should all practice this really loudly. I'm the solution.
I'm the
I love it.
solution.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, uh, let us find better ways to communicate. And let's start this with finding a better way to communicate with our own self. Only when we are communicating with ourselves and with the universe in harmony will we be able to extend this to other people. So, firstly, been there, done that. We've heard this a million times, and yet there cannot be enough reminders. Start your morning with a thank you to the universe that all is well, you know. And the other one, this is something that I actually do. Set yourself reminders with little notes around your space now that you're at home, or you're not like going to 5 places in one day. You're maximum going to 2 places in one day, and you're spending time in those places, or else you're just in one place the whole day. So put things up around yourself, put post-its, write something somewhere, put reminders in your space. And looking at them suddenly, spontaneously, will do the trick. It'll just in 1 second bring your mind to that thing that you want to remind yourself about. So get creative and play games with yourself. Now, when you sit down to answer all those questions, from your answers, you will get clues as to what reminders you need. For example, if you become aware that you need to soften the tone of your voice, then that is the reminder that you need to put up for yourself, So I'm going to share with you a set of reminders that I have for myself. And I have made these particular reminders with an intention of a complete chakral awakening. So there are 7 reminders, and I'm sharing my list here with you. You are most welcome to create your own list and put them up, like set an alarm on your phone and call the alarm one of your reminders. Put a post-it on the refrigerator, write a note on your mirror, just write a note on the inside of your wardrobe, so when you open it to get dressed, you'll suddenly see something. Whatever works. So these are my reminders. Hope will carry me through. Joy is lightening everything around me. My vision is deepening every day. I am in love. Can you imagine somebody dealing with body weight issues, and they've got all these thoughts about food, which are like toxic thoughts, like I shouldn't be eating this, I shouldn't be eating that, and yet they can't help but eat. Can you imagine if they have a reminder on the refrigerator saying I am in love, and they look at it and guess what they're thinking of? Love. Truth can solve everything. I'm dancing to the harmony of the universe. Can you imagine you have an alarm on your phone, which is like a very peppy song. And when you pick up your phone to switch off the alarm, your phone tells you, I'm dancing to the harmony of the universe. Maybe you won't switch off the alarm. Maybe you'll do a couple of steps right then and there. Think about it. And I am an acceptance in all of life. Like First Lady said, that we just need to be more in acceptance in these changing times.
Wow, these are so beautiful. I think my
Thank you.
favorite one is truth can solve everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love
truth
that
can
one.
solve everything.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
beautiful one.
So
I'm
now,
absolutely sure.
so now I have also prepared a little visual exercise for everyone. So is everyone ready? Just type in the chat box, yes, yes. Yeah, magic potions, interesting, yes. So just close your eyes and imagine that each one of us looks like a gear wheel. You know what a gear wheel looks like? A wheel with those spokes all around it. And the people that we are connected to are all around us. Each one is a gear wheel itself. And all our spokes are embedded into each other. Can you see this? With your mind's eye, just visualize. Now see yourself as the biggest one in the middle, and all the others are various sizes. You can give them colors, and depending on their importance in your life, you can give them sizes, number of spokes. You notice that some of them are interconnected with each other as well. And some of them are indirectly connected to you, not directly connected to you. So there's this whole network of gear wheels, different colors, different sizes, complex structure, but right in the middle is the big one, and that's you. Now, as you work in more and more details of this visual, I want you to become aware. Do you see the wheels in motion or in stillness? This depicts your life right now. Is your life stuck? Is it moving? Is it flowing? As you see the wheels in motion, understand that each one is affecting all the others because everyone is interconnected. Take your time and feel the motion and become aware of any friction. And now I'm sharing a secret with you. You, the biggest wheel in the center, has access to the best, most superior lubricants in the universe that can take care of any amount of friction. And how much access do you have? Infinite access. All you have to do is allow these lubricants to enter yourself. And let me tell you what these magical oils are. One is love, and the other one is humor. As you allow these to flow out of yourself, they are smoothing the friction and spreading far. And remember, you have an endless supply from the universe. And what is happening to your wheels now? Is it moving faster, smoother? Just acknowledge what is with ease and grace. So, everybody, how was that visual? And how did you like my magic lubricants? Please share your experience in the chat box. Ambreen says it was beautiful. Thank you. I'll just give everyone a couple minutes to come back. Have a sip of water, look at your screens. We are moving now from problem to solution. So another reminder, after this talk is over, go back to your questions, take your time to be in awareness and answer them. There is a difference between knowing and owning. So once you become aware of the situations in your life, you need to take ownership of them. Once you have the answers written down, take ownership of them and think about how you can infuse these magic potions, these magic oils of love and humor into these situations. At the School of Awakening, we believe that all the answers and solutions are within you. We are simply the mirrors who help you focus the light so that your truth is reflected back to you and you can begin to awaken to your soul's destiny. Remember, Sidra used to tell us, time equals love. And therefore, the more time you invest in looking for solutions, the more love you will find in the universe. If there are any questions or if there's something that anyone would like to share, and you want to share any experience, you want to share any issue, any thought, please do so. Because right after this, we are going to go into a meditation with Sidra herself. So I'm just waiting for a couple of minutes to see if anybody wants to discuss something right now. Thank you. Thank you for all your positive feedback. All right, then. We'll just give it up to Sidra. The topic, okay, the topic, or that's okay. The topic is connecting while distancing. How far is too far? But even if you were late, you were just in time for Sidra. Let's do it.
So if you could just sit back and relax, close your eyes, take a deep breath in and a breath out. Focusing on your breathing helps you to quieten your mind. Allow your mind and your body to relax, to let go. Let go of all that has happened, all that will happen. This time is specially for you. No one wants anything. No one needs anything. This is your time. Allow the light of time to wrap you in a wonderful cocoon of time, going up, up, up and above, dissolving the room you're in, the city you're in, the country you're in, the continent you're in, this deep, deep starry sky. So many stars in the galaxy. And there is one star that is just above the big blue moon is the star of consciousness, this bright, sparkly star beckoning you to land your consciousness in the center of this beautiful star of consciousness. And all those who are connected in light, in love, in integrity, in truth, are now joining their consciousness and being in this space. Imagine landing in this purity of consciousness. Feel the light of consciousness opening up your third eye. Allow your third eye to start to feel a gentle connection as consciousness of your vision center opens up, and you allow your pineal gland, the center of your brain, to open up in light and ask, how can I use this body to be a conduit of the divine? And we ask for an alignment with the power of questions. Feel the light connecting your third eye with your throat center. Allow your throat center to open up in light and receive consciousness of communication. Beautiful. Feel the power of light opening up your throat center to always ask in compassion, in love, in integrity, and in truth. Feel that light landing in your heart as you connect with the wisdom, the deeper knowledge that your heart contains, to ask all that it desires, to receive all that it deserves, to accept all that there is. Wonderful. Breathe in and breathe out. And from now on, each day, every day, the consciousness of your heart will expand the wisdom of your soul, and you will receive the right guidance, the light guidance, the light instructions, and light questions. Wonderful. And whenever you're ready, slowly and gradually, bring your consciousness into your body, patting on your legs and your arms, opening your eyes, and welcome back.
So just take another deep breath in and have a sip of water. Yes, Dr. KP, it was a great transmission. So I'd like Farsia to take over now.
Thank you, Shita Bhabi. I'm just landing. It's always so beautiful to hear my lovely sister's voice, and I hope you enjoyed Sister Jaffrey's transmission. Awakening compassion is so important right now for us to be in a compassionate space to ourselves first, and then to all the lovely people around us. So yeah, please make sure you do listen to a replay of this amazing CPS webinar today. You guys have all been so engaged, and so happy that you were all here. Use these tools. Make sure that you do feedback to us. Let us know how you've been using these tools, especially those beautiful statements that Ishita Bhabi shared with you. You know, dot them around the house, put your alarm on, like really make use of all the content that we've shared with you today, because it really will, you know, transform your day, transform your life. So start implementing these tools that we share here. And yeah, and with that, we conclude our topic for the day, which was connecting while distancing. And I feel that we did a really good job of connecting. You know, I'm here in London, and Shita Bhabi is all the way in India. You guys are in your beautiful spaces, and this is what flow is all about. So make sure you come and connect with us on Flow. and give us all your feedback of all the shows, as well as CPS, of how you are making use of all the tools that we're giving you. And also just would like to share with you, how you can really like make use of flow with a flow, and just general the services that we offer here through our conscious parenting library that our lovely local Alexa and all her team has been building for us. So if you do want to, want more of like a one-to-one session with us, all you have to do is book a consultation with our team members, and then we can help you create a personal bespoke plan to actually move forward, with whatever your intention is. Okay. Another great thing you can do is sign up for our Gold Conscious membership, where we will assign a team member as your personal care companion to help you on your journey. As always, we encourage you to attend our webinars. We have our CPS webinars happening every month, every third Sunday of the month, I believe. Our next one is going to be on the 18th of October 2020. So make sure you do join us. Bring your family, bring your friends, and we will let you know what our amazing topic is going to be for our next month. Visit us on Flow, as you always do. We are a 24-hour Zoom channel where we have meditations, podcasts, book clubs, and our very, very special healing circle that happens every single day. If at any moment that you feel that you cannot access Zoom, but you want to be in touch with us, all you have to do is you have to go to Zoom Flow. There's always a contact number there. You just connect with us through that number, or you can always check us out on our website. We have all updated information on events and courses that are happening and memberships as well. Or you can connect with us at firstlady@schoolofawakening.com email, and we'll be happy to serve you. And and just share with us anything and everything that is happening in your life. We're very nosy here at School of Awakening because we are researchers. So yeah, we'd love to hear anything that is happening in your life and how we can find a solution together.
And
So this is
also,
it from me. Yes.
Yeah, Parsi, I'd also like to say quickly that I hope everybody's taken a look at our new website. It's beautiful, and if you haven't, do so now.
Yes, definitely. Please do so. It has taken us such a long time to make it top notch for you guys, and it has been a real journey for all of us. So please do hop on and connect with us through the website. Tell us what you love, what you would like to see more of on the website to make it better for you guys. Remember, this is your channel, this is your community, and we are here for you guys. So thank you so much. And Ishita Babi, I would love you to share a few last words with us, because the content today was all from you and it was absolutely mind-blowing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Farsia. And this was my first CPS, as in, like I've been a parent to CPS this month, and I've had so much support from you, Farsia, and from everyone on the team doing the slides, helping me out with the audios. So yes, and lots more coming up soon for everyone at CPS. So cheers, bye for now, and wish everybody a super awesome rest of the day. This is Ishita signing off. Bye.